wagon. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. What? You got me feeling like I'm Josh. Okay. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. Josh. Yeah. Got me feeling like I'm. Who? Josh. Yeah. Josh. Ones that was talking that trash are the same ones circling wagons. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. What? You got me feeling like I'm Josh. Okay. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. Josh. Yeah. Got me feeling like I'm. Who? Josh. Yeah. Josh. Ones that was talking that trash are the same ones circling wagons. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. What? You got me feeling like I'm Josh. Okay. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. Josh. Yeah. Got me feeling like I'm. Who? Josh.
The Buffalo Bills sink the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today in Orchard Park, 44-32. Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns. It was a great game. We are going to recap the entire thing. First,
to my friend Nate and all the listeners of this podcast, no one circles the wagons than Nate Descape. Circle the wagons, Buffalo.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Hey, let's go Buffalo. Hey, let's go Buffalo. The Bills make me wanna.
what is up, Bills Mafia? Welcome to another episode of Circling the Wagons, a Buffalo fan base podcast. It is so good to be with you guys. I am riding solo by myself this week, but we have a tremendous game to discuss. The Buffalo Bills beating the Buccaneers 44-32 in Orchard Park. What a whirlwind of a game, man. This was a crazy back and forth game between the Bucs, the Bills, who was taking the ball away. At one point, the Bucs had 3 turnovers against the Buffalo Bills, the 2 Josh Allen interceptions, the McCole Hardman fumble on a kickoff return. We also have so many other things like Keon Coleman getting benched today for Gabe Davis and McCole Hardman. What else do we have? Ty Johnson sighting today. Cole Bishop had an incredible game. Bills defense, still allowing 32 points, but honestly, not an awful game by the defense. But really, the big story was today, the offense. Josh Allen coming together. I know last week, it was a big thing. We talked about it, and I think a lot of Bills Mafia was wondering, what is this Bills offense? I mean, can they pass the ball when they need to? Why are we losing to the 2-7 Dolphins? And not only losing to them, but getting spanked pretty good by them, 30-13. And so you wonder, are the wheels going to fall off this team? Is the team going to find a way to grab some traction on the road so they don't skid off? And today was that day. I know it was against an NFC team, so it doesn't mean nearly as much as it would against an AFC East opponent. But the Buccaneers are a legit team, and the fact that the Bills were able to beat them, they were able to change momentum on this game, having more turnovers, and then getting some turnovers on their end of the ball. I just thought this makes me feel a lot more confident in this team, specifically Josh Allen. Josh Allen, 19 for 30, 317 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions that we mentioned, and then also the 3 rushing touchdowns for Josh Allen. Just an incredible game altogether, minus the mistakes. I mean, he was MVP caliber, but still working on those, still trying to figure that out. But the Bills offense did a lot of things today, a lot of things that they haven't done in a while, like throw some passes to the running backs. I mean, Ty Johnson had that 52-yard touchdown play. A great call by Joe Brady on a lot of these plays calls. I mean, James Cook only 48 yards rushing today, 16 attempts, 48 yards rushing, only 3 yards per carry. They found a way to give it more to Josh Allen, to Ty Johnson, and they found a way to get the game going offensively for the first time. And it feels like a few weeks. It feels like since the Chiefs game. The Chiefs game was the first time since the Ravens game, and now we're back at it. Hopefully, this is not just the fact that it was a home game, but maybe they're tapping into something. But I mentioned the big news about Keon Coleman getting benched today, not just missing a quarter, missing a drive, the first drive of the game. He was legitimately benched. He was inactive today. It's really disappointing to see from the second-year wide receiver, a guy that was getting 70% of the snaps at wide receiver, and then for him to come out and he essentially admitted that he missed a meeting. So this was the response. I think it's one thing if you're trying your hardest and it's just not happening and you're just not performing. Like, I get it. Like, it'll come. Look at Cole Bishop. Cole Bishop missed time. He was trying his best though, and he's gotten there. He's making a huge impact in his second season. Keon Coleman, on the other hand, apparently not showing the effort that we need him to. The Bills need him to, and is this something that they just use to wake up the rookie or the second-year player, to wake up the wide receiver to playing a little bit better? Is this the way it's going to be from now on? I'm hoping, I'm rooting for him. I mean, how do you not like the guy? The talent is there. It's just a matter of putting it all together, hopefully. And obviously, you want Joe Brady to take advantage of his skill set as well in a better way. But, just looking over the stats of the game, I mentioned James Cook, Josh Allen, 6 attempts for 40 yards, rushing 6.7 yards per carry. I mentioned the 3 touchdowns. Leading receiver for the Buffalo Bills. This was interesting. Tyrell Shavers was the leading receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Helped having that 43-yard touchdown in the game. 4 receptions on 5 targets for 90 yards. James Cook was the next leading receiver. Talked about getting the ball into the running back's hands. The Bucs weren't ready for that because the Bills don't do that. So James Cook, 3 receptions on 3 targets for 66 yards and a touchdown. Ty Johnson, 2 receptions on 2 targets for 61 yards and a touchdown. And then we got Gabe Davis, big game Gabe, 3 receptions on 4 targets for 40 yards. I don't know if you guys caught that clip on social media or during the game live where Josh Allen and Gabe Davis were embracing on the sidelines, knocking helmets together, and their helmets got stuck. It's like they had to legitimately take off their helmets so they didn't cause any damage or hurt one another. It's pretty funny. Funny thing, it was good having Gabe back on there. Dawson Knox, 1 reception on 3 targets for 23 yards. Curtis Samuel sighting, 2 receptions on 3 targets for 19 yards. Joshua Palmer, 2 receptions on 5 targets for 17 yards. Oh man, how many guys had a reception? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys with a reception. That's impressive. Let's see. Cole Bishop had the interception on defense. Any sacks today? Daquan Jones had a sack. So we're going to talk really quick. I'm not going to make this one too long for you guys, but Sweet Sassy Molassy play of the game. I mentioned the Cole Bishop interception. That was tremendous. You're talking about a play in, the third quarter, where the Bills were down by, let's see. It was the third quarter. The Bills were down 26-24, and the Bucs had Bucs had the ball with just less than a minute left in the third quarter, and on 3rd and 6, Cole Bishop has an interception, returns it to the Bucs 25-yard line. The Bills end up scoring from there. Then the Bucs score again, so the Bucs are up 32-31. So my Sweet Sassy Molassy play of the game was a Cole Bishop interception. There were so many plays to go from, though. I mean, you talk about the Ty Johnson touchdown, the Tyrell Shavers touchdown, which was just vintage Josh Allen, moving through the pocket and then just tossing a dime while running to his left. And he caught Tyrell Shavers in the end zone open in a very, very short window. So just a tremendous play by Josh Allen, and tremendous by Tyrell Shavers for catching that. I mean, you're not talking about a guy who is like a second round pick in Keon Coleman. You're talking about a guy who's a practice squad player that made the team this year, outright, and he's making plays and he's on special teams. So Josh Allen said that in the press conference. You got a guy that's, catching a touchdown one play and then playing the kickoff team the next play. So big shout out to Tyrell Shavers on that one. The Gettysburg of the game for today's, I mean, you could say also honorable mention for plays of the game. I mean, you could have mentioned any of the Josh Allen touchdowns as well. A great game again by Brady, play calling this one. I'm going to say the Gettysburg of the game, the point in which the game changed for the Buffalo Bills was that interception, but then also that Daquan Jones strip sack, where it was in the fourth quarter. The Bucs were down 32-44, and there's plenty of time. There's over 4 minutes left in the game where the Bucs could have made a return. They have a really good offense. And Daquan Jones not only sacks Baker Mayfield, gets pressure, and then pops that ball out, and Dorian Williams recovers it. So that is my Gettysburg play of the game for the Buffalo Bills today. So Wall of Fame, Wall of Shame. If you guys want to get in and give me your Wall of Fame, Wall of Shame. I am going to, first and foremost, I think if you're going to put just one player or a person on the Bills Wall of Fame, it's got to be Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen, 6 touchdowns today, 3 on the ground, 3 in the air. I don't think anybody out there that's watching this or watched the Bills games, do you really care that he threw those 2 interceptions when all is said and done? The Bills still won by 12 points. The defense stepped up, although they weren't perfect today. The defense did step up. They allowed only a field goal on that drive where Josh Allen threw a shovel pass as an interception to the other team, which is funny now. We're laughing at it now, but at the time it just blew your mind. You're like, what is going on here? But they bounced back. Do credit to Josh Allen, not only for the plays that he made today, but not letting those plays get him down, not falling under pressure, not playing as if he's got to make an absolutely amazing play every single play after that, and taking what the defense gives him. So huge game. Josh Allen all alone on the Bills Wall of Fame today. Honorable mentions, like I mentioned, Cole Bishop having a tremendous second year, unlike some other second-year players. Who else? We have Ty Johnson stepping up in a big way. James Cook doing it on the ground, not so much on the ground, but in the air today too. Great plays. Tyrell Shavers, I mentioned, stepping up, and then Joe Brady. I mean, if I'm gonna trash Joe Brady on social media or other areas where on the podcast where I say that I think he's part of the reason why the Bills aren't playing so well. I mean, you have to give someone their flowers when they do show up and provide a good game plan. So, I mean, when all's said and done, the Bills had only 24 minutes of possession out of 60 in the game, but they still end up having what was the total yardage? Let's see, rushing. Still had over 400 yards of total offense, 414 yards. So hard to criticize that. And for those that don't like Joe Brady, and I've definitely criticized him, I mean, you really won't have to worry about him after this year because he will get a job somewhere. But for now, I'm hoping he rights the ship. You don't want to see anyone get fired, so you're hoping that they can just fix the problems that are there. Just like you don't want Keon Coleman to get cut or traded. Like you want him to fix the problem and right the ship and make things better, become a better player for your team. That's what you want. You don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of getting rid of them. So yeah, honorable mentions. I gave honorable mentions on the defense. This is going to sound weird because I know he's a little bit older and I know he's not technically like on the active roster, but Jordan Poyer was there a few times making some plays. And got to be honest, I don't expect much from him. But right now, it seems like between him and Hancock, like we have a pretty good duo there playing for us. So the Gabe Davis thing was pretty cool. Seeing him get back in there. Do I think he's going to unlock anything? Is he good enough that the Bills didn't need a trade for a wide receiver a few weeks ago? I don't know about that, but it was good to see him in there again. Always loved when he was here. Glad we didn't pay him $13 million a year, but was glad that he got away to come back here. On Tampa's side of the ball, I didn't do the stats for that, but Baker Mayfield, just a very pedestrian day for him. And he had some good, I thought he looked okay passing the ball. It was just, there was some pressure there, man. And Baker Mayfield was 16 for 28, 173 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I think the major story for the Bucs is Sean Tucker, man. Sean Tucker, the running back there, 19 carries for 106 yards, 5.6 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he looked good, man. He did look really good. The Bills did a great job limiting Emeka Egbuka. He only had 5 receptions on 9 targets today for 40 yards. So great job by Sean McDermott, Bobby Babich, and the defense. I didn't catch the press conference afterwards if Sean McDermott is still calling the plays in the defense, but when he's on the sidelines and he's covering his mouth because he's got, the play sheet over his face and he's calling, the defense is out in the field and he's saying stuff, you got to figure he's calling the game, at least for now. We'll see how this goes. But I'm curious if it's going to continue the rest of the season or only when, you're not playing better. I have no idea. How this is going to turn out, but I'm glad he's calling the defense. I think Sean does a better job. I mean, he's defensive coordinator by heart, right? Or by trade. So wall of shame today in this win. It's tough to find one, honestly. I mean, you could say McCole Hardman for that drop in the second half of the game, but then again, he had an amazing return during the game. Hey, honorable mention too is the special teams today. Special teams gave great field position to the Buffalo Bills at least 2 times from returns. Possibly the best returns we've seen all season. So, and one was by Ray Davis, one was by McCole Hardman. Just great plays. I mean, a team that's kind of struggled, a part of the ball that's just not been there for the Buffalo Bills. It was great to see a couple of guys stand out and make plays and actually get some blocking for once. So shout out to special honorable mention to the special teams. They almost blocked a field goal in the third or fourth quarter. You guys got to let me know what you think in the comments and try not to be homers here. Okay. Try not to tell me that you thought for sure that the Bills blocked that. But to me, the penalty they called on Alec Anderson, saying that he was pushing down on the back of the offensive lineman to let someone get in there and block the kick. I don't know, man. I didn't see it that way. I think it was a stretch. I don't think he was doing what they said he was doing, but I don't know the rule that well. I'm not going to speculate exactly how it is, but to me, them saying that he pushed down on the lineman's back so that a guy could get through. I mean, I didn't see him help the guy up. I thought he was just there and the guy was in front of him with his back towards him and he put his hands on his back. I didn't see the leverage that they were talking about. You guys let me know in the comments. Let me know if you think that was truly a penalty and not be a homer about it like I mentioned, because he's no way. I know I have to stop myself. No, that definitely didn't happen. What the hell, man? Like throwing your arms up in the air, yelling at the TV like I do. But so yes, wall of shame. It's hard to find a wall of shame in this one. The refs weren't awful. They weren't great, but they weren't awful. Can't give it to them. Can't give it to coaching. There were some penalties that were annoying, but none that were too game-changing, like I mentioned. I feel bad. I feel like this is the 5th time I've mentioned the guy, but Keon Coleman, for, just, I think I hope it's not just him being a scapegoat for this issue, but it sounds like a legit issue there. So again, not a great game, or not a great look by Keon to show up in this way, to not show up to work, to not try as hard. I mean, everyone's been ragdolling him for not showing effort on routes. So if you're gonna get that reputation during the week after you guys lose, you better show up on Sunday during the week, and not only on Sunday during the game, but during the week, and put in the work, man. Um, it stinks though, because he's young. What is he, like 22 maybe? I mean, your brain doesn't even stop growing until you're 25. So what's 22, man? I mean, I look at the person I was when I was 22. It is completely different. So I want to give him grace on that, but at the same time, man, you're a millionaire. You have to take this more seriously than he apparently is. So it's a weak wall of shame. It's not a great one. There's not really a good finger to point, but that's all I got for this one. So yeah, so those were Sweet Sassy Molassie plays of the game. Gettysburg of the game we haven't had in a minute. Wall of Fame, Wall of Shame, and now we're gonna go to Twitter on X. So after every Bills game, I mentioned who or what is on your Wall of Fame, or I'm sorry, what's your hot take after this win or loss? And here you can see the Buffalo Bills won, so that was easy to do it. By the way, Wall of Fame honorable mention. How about this one right here? See, this is the AFC right now. Broncos winning the AFC West. The Patriots winning the AFC East right now. The Colts winning the AFC South. And then the Steelers right now winning the AFC North. And then you have the Buffalo Bills right under the wild card here. Then you have the Chargers in the AFC West at 7-4, the Jaguars at 6-4 in the AFC South, the Texans even above the Chiefs at 5-5 in the AFC South, and then here at number 9, firmly out of playoff contention still at 5-5, third in their division is the Chiefs. So I mean, I feel good about the Bills' chances. I think with any of these teams, the Bills could win. I think all of these games are definitely winnable. The Chiefs are the only ones that, for history's sake, bother me, but they could make a run. But man, seeing them lose today was not the worst part of today. I'll just say that. And I'm sure if you're a Bills fan, you were enjoying that as well. Let's see. All right. Hot takes from Bills Mafia. Stu McAllister's, and Stu says lots of concerns about Coleman. This game will show him players will show up without him. Yeah, I mean, if I'm watching this, like let's say you're at work or something and there's a project you're working on and they decide to take it away from you, they give it to a younger guy or another guy on the team, and they start showing up and everyone's in the office or the job site is like, man, these guys are good. Like, or that guy was good. Like we handed the ball to Jeff and Jeff really crushed it. Like, I think we should be giving him more of the stuff and, paying him a little bit more. And be like, hey, wait a minute, what about me? Like that's Coleman at this point. So he has two ways he can take this. He can either right the ship or, basically just find a roster spot on another team. Bill Lasso says, I'm personally sad about what's going on with Keon, and yet he was not missed. I love all of our Bills, but we have to remember our goal is to win a championship. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what, Bill? I'm feeling a little bit more confident in that. I'm not there yet. I don't think they're a great team. But you know what? They just have to be a good team that gets hot at the right time. And even if this isn't them being hot, if this is just them making plays when they had to, I'm okay with that. Just when the time comes, get healthy, which we saw TJ Sanders return, which was great. Get healthy and get there hot. JMC says, hot take, for the love of God, stop throwing so many passes behind or at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I hate those plays. We don't really have the guys to pull off those plays as well. But someone was showing a stat on social media where like the Bills are actually like 4th or 5th best and like those plays at or behind the line of scrimmage. So I don't see a whole lot of other teams doing it, but I'm not a fan either. JMC. NBA Hoops Online says the offense wasn't because of the lack of Keon Coleman, but rather the fact that the Bucs defense sucks. It's possible. Michael Graham says this offense is a lot better and more open when Keon is not a part of it. Not saying give up on him, but the Bills should consider using him a lot less until he grows up. Also, I think Josh Allen is back. Go Bills. Yeah, great point by Michael here. It's you got to toe the line, right? You got to give him playing time, but at the same time, when he's not showing up, you got to pull him. So maybe instead of paying 70% of the snaps, like Michael says, you just play him less, play him 30% of the snaps, and make him earn the snaps instead of saying, well, he's our best, he's our second year wide receiver, so he's a second rounder, so we have to play him more. Well, you play him more if he earns it. If he doesn't, then other guys step up too. It looks like. Did you notice that? I don't know if that's part of this whole thing with Keon that other players are like, man, we really gotta step up too. There's got to be a psychology to that, right? Like when you see other players that aren't doing as well and there are repercussions for that. I mean, doesn't it kind of make you try a little bit harder? Make you think, well, I got to show them that, I'm not also part of the problem. Anakin Skywalker says, we found the wide receiver rotation for 2025 at least. Leave it. Passing game hasn't looked like this all year. Add Kincaid in with today's batch. Oh, great point. I mean, didn't mention that Kincaid wasn't going to play this game, so hopefully he'll be back for the Texans game in a few weeks or a few days. But yeah, it'll be exciting to add Kincaid back to this batch. Again, not a great receiver core, but the passing game, like you mentioned, has looked the best it has all year, minus like the second half of the Ravens game and portions of the Chiefs game. Uncle Fester, Bill's Metalhead, says the defense is ass, but makes plays at the right time to salvage it. Offensive play calling is ass, but thanks to Josh's scrambling ability, they score. Josh is still missing open players. Not sure why. Special teams play was good today. Yeah. Josh still isn't back, but he's looking like it. He's starting to get there. He's starting to get to that point. Chad Labrie says Josh Allen finally was slinging the ball like he got his confidence back. Defense still needs to work on stopping the rush. All in all, a win is a win. Go Bills. Happy Victory Monday. Wall of Fame nominee, Tyrell Shavers. That's a good nominee right there. I love it. Chris says, let Josh cook, live with the highs and the lows. Jimbo should get carries, but dang, dude is ridiculous. Yeah, Josh Allen tied Cam Newton today for the most rushing touchdowns ever by a quarterback, and Josh is turning 30. So it's a good time to be a Bills fan, man. DJ Santaviga says, roller coaster, but the pass game can be a factor. Yes, it's nice to see that, especially because, like I mentioned, without Josh Allen running the ball, Cook was getting 3 yards per carry. That wasn't a whole lot. AJ Tharp says, a win without significant injuries in this economy? Allen saw Gabe Davis and a guy wearing 14 and suddenly came to life, and all of a sudden, Tyrell Shavers is wide receiver 1. I love it. Great tweet, AJ. Love it, man. Charlie B says, defense is looking better. The offense is looking better. Josh of old showed up in the fourth. Wall of Fame, the Davis 53-yard reception. And the Wall of Shame is the McDermott timeout under 2 minutes when Tampa Bay had none and clock was running. Did he think the game was just won? I was curious about that. But no, good call by Charlie B. W says, took us a little longer than it should to get in our groove. Yep. Brennick says maybe Brady was actually sandbagging, seeing Cook and Johnson making plays in the passing game. Has me wondering if Brady was actually holding stuff back. Brennick, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I thought the same thing at one point. Sometimes I think we give these guys too much credit, but it's funny, Brennick, the one thing I'll say for this and the listeners is that I don't think he was holding stuff back. I'd like to think that he's playing, 4D chess or whatever. But remember the Bills in the AFC Championship game. I mean, how many things was he bringing out that were completely new in that game? I remember pounding the table saying, hey, if you're going to do the tush push, like, why not throw out a bootleg, right? Or a scramble or something that throws the game off. The Kansas City Chiefs defense has been practicing, all week for this tush push. Well, give them something a little bit different. Throw it to Alec Anderson. Do something different. And they didn't. So I'm saying it's probably not, but I like the idea. Jason Millard says, still not sure what exactly this team is. By the way, same, Jason, same. But if it plays mistake-free football, is more consistent, fundamentally sound, there's enough talent for them to be dangerous any Sunday. And that's all we want, right? Like we want this team to, when they play their best ball, they can still beat any team. And they didn't play their best ball today, and they still beat a good team. So you just need them to play to like Jason is saying, mistake-free football. You just turn over the ball a little bit less. You make a few more tackles. You stop the run a little bit better, and then all of a sudden, I mean, who can't this team stop, right? What Even Goes here says, give Josh decent weapons to throw to, and he gets his balls back. He very obviously has more confidence with Gabe on the field. Also, Dawson is not Dalton and should not be treated as such. No, that is a fact. That is a fact. Dawson's okay. I think he provides something, but yeah, he's not the receiving threat that Dalton Kincaid is, for sure. Mary Beth says, Josh was happy. I'm happy. That is a hot take. I like that one, Mary Beth. I like to see him happy. I mean, I wasn't going to go into this, but I'm just going to do it right now. Why not? I posted on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, about the Josh Allen having a woe is me face and me not really liking the guy that he was last week or in any of the losses this season, where he shows a little bit more glum than normal. Josh isn't a guy to look at the tablets, at least from what we see. Again, this is all I'm seeing from the broadcast. He could be firing guys up on the sidelines nonstop, and then they cut to him, and you just see he looks lost. He looks lost then. And the problem I had with that wasn't that he shouldn't feel that way, because he should feel that way. And I would feel that way. All of us would feel that way if we were in that same position and we're just like, what the hell is going on? Why are we turning the ball? Why am I turning the ball over like this? Why are they getting such good pressure? Why am I having issues, reading the defense? Why are guys not getting open? He had every right to be upset at that point. But what I will say is, because he's a very emotional player, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. It's one of the things we love about him. It's one of the things that make us root for him, is that he's a real person. He's not like a politician where he only gives you the things that you want. Like he gives you all, you feel like Josh Allen pretty well, because I'm pretty sure this is how he is. The only thing I would fix on that is that at times, at least this season, I wish he had more of a general leading his team into battle sort of mentality, as opposed to I'm just like, what is going on, guys? And I get it, because I'm feeling like that from the outside watching the game. I'm like, what is going on in Buffalo? At the same time, you can still keep 80, 90% of that emotion that you normally have during the game, but maybe hide a little bit of it during the game when things aren't going well. Maybe be the guy that's over dapping guys up, like, we got this, get your head in the game, we get the ball back, we're going to score. Like that kind of leader. I'm not saying he's not that kind of leader. He does seem to be a little bit more of a guy's guy, which is great because the guys love him. And I often wonder, because I look at that in myself and with whether it's with friends or at work, how do you get to lead people if it's not purely by example, right? Like, how do you motivate people? How do you get them to show up when you need them to? Is it getting in their face? Is it riling them up? Is it, punching them in the helmet and on the shoulder pad saying, come on, guys, let's go? I'm not sure. I just wish he would show a little bit more of that, but mostly just not show how upset he is. Again, not saying you can't be upset, but man, you can't look like you're already defeated before you're defeated. And the screenshot I showed was like, when it was 22-6, the game was pretty much over. But he looked like that most of the game. Today, obviously not that. But then again, we didn't see a whole lot of Josh Allen on the sidelines because they're doing great, right? Nobody looks at him at the sideline. So, again, a bounce back game for Josh. I think in the offense, taking what the defense was giving him, he was throwing a lot more shorter passes. I thought not just behind the line of scrimmage passes, shorter passes. It's late. Todd says the defense needs to be better. Love the win, but the defense is suspect. Buddy, Todd, the defense is absolutely suspect. And expect that for a while because they have so many guys injured. And even when they're not injured, I don't know how great they are. But I think they're not as bad as people are saying. When the Bills lose, a lot of times it's the offense that's causing the issues and not the defense. At least that's the way I've seen the games played this season. So the defense definitely needs to be better, but I would say it's not as awful as you might think. But could it get better? Absolutely. I think it's gotten better under Sean McDermott calling the calls, making the play calls. Cindy B says, "Woo, got it together. Love Poyer being back." Me too. Brings an extra element to it, and obviously you got to root for him. Having played in Miami last season, he thought maybe his career was done and he gets another chance with the Bills. So Hurdle This says, never throw Shakir a screen again, which is crazy because he's like the only player on the team besides maybe Ty Johnson and James Cook that has the ability to take the ball as far as humanly possible because of how much he can juke and leave guys ankles broken. The problem is, though, it's just, maybe Curtis Samuel is better. I don't know. None of the Bills wide receivers are really good at screen passes. So no disagreements there. Jeremiah says, finally use Cook in the passing game. Absolutely. AK says, a lot to clean up, everybody. Sure. David S. Brenchley says, it's the Buffalo Bills. You can't lose faith. Yes, absolutely. Even though I do sometimes, but I get what you're saying. Justin L says they let Josh be Josh. Yes, they did. SJM says relief. How can you not have some relief after this? Joe Goes Gaming says, my hot take, Brady still sucks. It shouldn't have taken 9 games to finally decide to get running backs involved in the passing game. I don't disagree with that at all. Unfortunately, there's nothing they can do. I think we mentioned it last week on the podcast, but the Bills could fire Joe Brady, of course, but they don't really have necessarily a great replacement for him. Their quarterback's coach has never called plays before in the NFL or in college, so not really the easy stepping stone from, Dable to Dorsey or Dorsey to Brady like there was before. There's not really a contingency for Brady, I think, at this point, unless they bring in Dable, but we'll see. I can't imagine that too. It'd be good to bring him in. I want him to be there, but I can't imagine how that goes inside one Bills drive. Whereas, Dable didn't coach with Brady, right? So how's that going to go? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see. Dan says, Bills fans on X bitch too much. Trust it. By the way, stop calling it X. Okay, I know it's called X, but it's Twitter. It'll always be Twitter, right? Just like people say it's always Rich Stadium, right? Not Highmark Stadium or the Ralph or whatever. Like it's not X. Trust the process. Trust McDermott. Trust Josh. Trust the OC. Trust the DC. Save all the criticism for being. Oh, there's criticism to go for there. Uncle Ultron says Josh stinks, which is just a terrible take, but he doesn't. But funny. Joe Andrade says, Josh took over after too many bad play calls. Yes. So he's saying that Joe Brady is the reason why Josh had to become who he was because he's so sick of Joe Brady's play calls. I'm not sure about that. I see what you're saying. I'm not sure I agree with that. But Raymond Ventura says MVP is back. Absolutely. Recognized Gain says Definitely not the best game from the defensive side of the ball. Still can get better on both sides. Solid win. Enjoy, Buffalo Bills. And yeah, that was a great call. So it was yeah. Sorry, I just got a warning sign on my page. That's why there's a little bit of a pause right there. But I'm gonna end this one, guys. It was so good talking to you guys about that, about this win. Just finally getting into some of the condiments. At Jacob Spears says, "Let's go Bills." Joey Hatch says, I like how well Tyrell Shavers played well. That was great. Cole Bishop came into his own. He absolutely is. Dude, all the credit for a guy like Cole Bishop, a guy that was getting tons of criticism before the season for how bad the safety play was, people not willing to give him a chance, and then showing up and not only, playing admirably, but playing really well in that spot. So game-changing plays. His interception against the Saints a few weeks ago, he had huge plays against the Chiefs. And then again today, another interception. You gotta love what Cole Bishop's doing. He for now, he looks like the future of that position for the Buffalo Bills. So as much as we want to rag on Brady for maybe Keon Coleman, you got to give him credit for Cole Bishop. I love that. It kind of reminds me of, remember Spencer Brown a few years ago? He was going into his third season. People are like, I don't know if we're going to keep this dude because he's not playing right tackle as well as we thought he should. And then all of a sudden he plays as one of the best right tackles in the NFL. He gets a contract extension, and now he's one of the best offensive linemen on the team. So I'm hoping Cole Bishop follows the role. Third and Cole Bishop. Yeah. Well, thank you guys all for listening. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Thanks for all the tweets, not the X posts, the tweets on that. And getting out of this. This was a fun one to do. The Bills are on top. The Bills are showing out. The Bills look good for now. We'll see how they play on a short week's rest against the Texans on Thursday Night Football. But you got to feel pretty confident about it. And I think that they have a good chance of beating a banged up Texans team. So I'm excited about that. Short week, but let's go. Hey, by the way, maybe they were playing 4D chess by sitting Keon Coleman. They wanted him to get nice and rested up for the Texans game, giving them way too much credit. So thank you guys all for listening. Thank you for subscribing, being a part of this show. Hold on, let me bring up the giveaway for this week. Random Thing Picker is the site I use, and here, let me share it. All right. So if you've left us a 5-star review on Apple's podcast, if you've left one on Spotify and messaged me about it, because unfortunately they don't give away the items there. They don't give away usernames on Spotify, but or if you leave comments on Facebook and in YouTube for watching the live stream, you will be entered in for this giveaway. And this week we were giving away another cool thing, this Andre Reed signed football. Andre Reed signed NFL Wilson NFL football, signed, sealed, and certified. Let's see who's winning this one. Last week Stu McAllister won. This week it's the Cable Guy. The Cable Guy. Who's the Cable Guy? I don't know if I've heard that one. I've seen the review from the Cable Guy, but I'm not sure exactly who this is. So Cable Guy, email us. DM us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever works out for you. And let me know. I'll send over that football to you guys. So, yeah. So thank you guys all again for listening. For signing off for me, Nate. Go Bills. Do good. Be good. God bless. Go Bills. And we'll talk to you guys again in just a few days.
Thank you for listening to the Circling the Wagons podcast. Download and subscribe to us in your favorite podcast service. Email us at ctwpod@gmail.com. That's Charlie Tango Whiskey Pod@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at CTWPod. And most importantly, go Bills!
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, Nate.
Well, listen, the whole show is called Circling the Wagons. Say no more. I love it.